Have you ever seen someone driving a car so aggressively, swerving and speeding that you just knew, without a doubt, that person was on a mission? Not just late for work, but driven by something dangerous?
I have, and it's terrifying. But honestly, that image is actually ancient. In the text we're looking at today, there's a specific line about a man driving his chariot furiously. And that man isn't just dealing with road rage. He is essentially a guided missile aimed at the heart of Israel's monarchy.
We are diving into 2 Kings, chapters 9 through 11, and furiously seems to be the theme here. We're talking about Jehu, a commander who goes from being a soldier in the background to the central figure of one of the bloodiest coups in biblical history.
Coup is the right word, but it feels like a revolution. It starts quietly, though. Elisha the prophet sends a young messenger to Ramoth-Gilead with a flask of oil and a very dangerous set of instructions. He finds Jehu sitting with his army captains, pulls him into a private room, anoints him king, and basically says, "Strike down the house of Ahab." Then the messenger opens the door and runs for his life.
I love that detail. Open the door and flee. He knows he just lit a fuse, but what surprises me is how quickly Jehu's fellow captains turn on their current king, Joram. Jehu walks out, tries to play it cool, but the moment he tells them, "The Lord says I am king," they immediately throw their cloaks down on the stairs as a red carpet and blow the trumpets. There was zero hesitation.
It tells you how unpopular Joram and the influence of his mother Jezebel really were. The army was ready for a change. And Jehu? He doesn't waste a second. He commands that no one leaves the city to warn the king. He gets in his chariot and heads straight for Jezreel. This is where we get that famous description of his driving style.
And King Joram actually rides out to meet him. He thinks it's a messenger. He keeps asking, "Is it peace, Jehu?"
Which is tragic, really. Jehu's response is chilling. He asks, "What peace can there be, so long as the witchcraft and prostitution of your mother Jezebel abound?" It's a declaration of war right to the king's face. Joram tries to turn and run, shouting, "Treason!" But Jehu is a soldier. He draws a bow, full strength, and strikes Joram dead instantly.
It's brutal. And he doesn't stop there. He chases down Ahaziah, the king of Judah, who just happened to be visiting, and kills him too. But the climax, the moment everyone remembers, is Jezebel.
The Queen Mother, the villain of the Elijah stories. You'd expect her to hide or beg. But when she hears Jehu is at the gate, she paints her eyes, arranges her hair, and stands at the window. She looks down at her son's killer and calls him Zimri, referencing an ancient traitor. She goes out with absolute defiance.
And Jehu doesn't even engage with her. He just looks up at the window and asks, "Who is on my side?" 2 or 3 eunuchs look out, and he simply says, "Throw her down."
And they do. It's a gruesome scene. The text is very graphic. Blood on the walls, horses trampling her. By the time they go to bury her, because she was technically royalty, the stray dogs had already fulfilled Elijah's prophecy. There was almost nothing left. It marks the total erasure of Ahab's legacy.
But Jehu isn't done, is he? He seems to have a talent for deception. He gathers all the Baal worshippers together, claiming Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu will serve him much.
It's a classic bait and switch. He packs the temple of Baal tight, wall to wall with worshippers, makes sure no servants of the Lord are inside, and then sends in 80 swordsmen. It's a massacre. He turns the temple into a latrine. In terms of religious purging, it's absolute. But here's the nuance. A. Jehu is a destroyer, not a builder. The text notes that while he wiped out Baal worship, he didn't turn away from the golden calves in Bethel and Dan. He was useful for judgment, but his heart wasn't fully aligned with the law.
That's a fascinating distinction. He's an instrument of justice, but not necessarily a righteous man. And while all this chaos is happening in the north, the violence spills over into Judah. We meet Athaliah,
The mother of the king of Judah who Jehu just killed. When she sees her son is dead, she doesn't mourn. She seizes power. She attempts to kill all the royal heirs, her own grandchildren, to secure the throne.
Talk about a dysfunctional family tree, but she misses one.
Exactly. Baby Joash. His aunt hides him in the temple of the Lord. For 6 years, while this usurper queen reigns, the true heir is growing up in secret, right under her nose, protected by the high priest.
It's like a movie script. The priest, Jehoiada, waits until the boy is 7, gathers the captains, and reveals the king. They crown him right there in the temple. When Athaliah hears the cheering and runs in, she sees the child by the pillar and realizes it's over.
She shouts, "Treason!" just like her son did, but it's too late. She's executed, And the people tear down the house of Baal in Judah too. It brings the story full circle. The storm Jehu started finally settles, but the cost was astronomical.
It really makes you think about the nature of these power vacuums. We see a cleaning of house, but it's achieved through such extreme violence. Jehu wipes out a dynasty, Athaliah tries to wipe out another, and in the end, a 7-year-old boy is left to pick up the pieces.
That's the lingering question of these historical accounts. Can true peace be built on a foundation of slaughter? Jehu did what was prophesied, and he was rewarded with a 4-generation dynasty. But the cycle of violence in Israel didn't stop. It just paused.
A sobering thought. Sometimes the furious driver gets where he's going, but we have to ask what's left of the vehicle when he arrives.
Precisely. And usually, it's a wreckage. If you have been blessed by this, please like, subscribe, and share this joy with others. God bless.